Welcome back to the Business Analyst Training. Previously, you learned how to analyze and document the as-is process and define and finalize the to-be process. You also understood the purpose and sections of the process definition document and how to populate it. Now, we'll be focusing on the solution design, development, and testing phase of automation implementation, where as a business analyst, you will be responsible for managing and monitoring the changes in the business process, and defining the governance plan for the project. Here, we'll be covering both the solution design, development, and testing stages. Let's start off with the solution design stage. The key people involved in this phase are the solution architect, the project manager, and the automation developer. During this stage, the solution architect designs a future state flow and maps out the various modules to be developed to complete the automation. The application tracker is used to record accesses required by the developer to build the automation and for the automation to be run in UAT and production. Once a solution has been determined and fleshed out, the solution architect and the automation developers work together to prepare the technical testing plan, which should encompass UAT scenarios, functional testing, and system integration testing. The output of this stage is the approved solution design document, the completed application tracker, and the completed technical testing plan. Collaboration between the solution architect, the project manager, and the automation developers occurs during the next stage, development and testing. Here, the automation developers create the modules outlined in the design whiteboard using the process definition document, or PDD, and the solution design document, or SDD, as references. The created modules are then tested individually to ensure they run successfully in controlled test settings. Once development and unit testing are completed, the developers should execute the technical testing plan. For functional testing, automated tests should be created to confirm large functions work independently. For system integration testing, an end-to-end test should be completed in an environment that mirrors how the automation runs in UAT and eventually production. Lastly, the developer should run all the UAT test scenarios in that environment to confirm business expectations will be met by the automation. Having said that, the responsibilities of a business analyst spans across both the stages and are essentially related to managing the changes that might be required at this point in the process. By change, we mean any sort of modification to the initial requirements as documented and agreed in the signed-off process definition document that is not a bug or defect. The business analyst needs to assess the changes and evaluate their implications. It's important to distinguish between a bug or a defect and a change. Bugs and defects are identified and handled during the testing phase exclusively, while changes can occur throughout the entire implementation process, including the testing stage when new requirements might be identified. For instance, a new input type, such as PDF, is detected. That is a change. After each change, the content of the process definition document needs to be updated accordingly to ensure its currency and relevancy. It's important to remember that unpredictable changes can always occur. When dealing with them, business analysts need to consider all the possible outcomes, the impact of the change on existing requirements and solutions, the duration of the change implementation, and the risks involved. The approved changes have to be logged using the traceability matrix. Other reasons behind these change requests can be gaps in the process definition document identified after sign-off, internal or external factors, like canceling a parallel project or adding its functionality to the current project, or an increase in the percentage of automation. The role of the business analyst during these phases is to analyze the proposed changes with stakeholders and apply the crack, keep, remove, add, change approach. Identify how the proposed changes impact the value delivered to the business or stakeholder groups, the time to deliver or the resources required to deliver the value. Understand how the proposed changes alter any risks, opportunities, or constraints associated with the overall initiative. Use the traceability matrix for logging the approved changes, and update the process definition document to include the requested changes as well as the detailed step-by-step description for each change implementation in order for the developer to integrate the changes. Business analysts must also ensure that the changes are communicated to stakeholders and gain a consensus on the same. We learned about what a business analyst must do to manage and monitor the changes to the business process. Next, we'll cover the different types of changes and ways to categorize them.